A warm welcome to everyone watching. Today we're going to discuss the difference between INFJs and ISFJs. You can start this off if you want. I'm happy for you to go first. Well, if you're sure you're happy for me to start, then I will. Why do you think that people can find it hard to tell us apart? We're both introverts who are feelers. We both lead with an introverted perceiving function. But yours is introverted sensing and mine is introverted intuition. Also, we prefer the same judging functions in the same order. We both have extroverted feeling and introverted thinking in second and third place. True. This means that we have the propensity to be people-focused and to consider how other people will be affected when making our decisions. What do you think is the best way to tell us apart? Understanding the difference in our dominant cognitive function. I agree. In the past I've been mistaken for being an INFJ. Why do you think that people have difficulty telling the difference between someone who has dominant NI and someone who has dominant SI? We're both very mindful individuals. We learn a lot from within. When using an introverted perceiving function, it can be hard for outsiders to tell where our information has come from. Makes sense. I would say I get most of my information from sensory world experience. And a lot of your insight comes from who knows where. I'm making new mental connections and joining the dots. You sure do. I can see how we could seem similar in some ways. You're someone who is very interested in people-related theories, and you've gained a rich array of social experience from interacting with other people. I see you as someone who is archiving the sensory world within your mind. That's a very interesting way of putting it. With your SI you are collecting data from real-world experience, and over time this is becoming a deep knowledge base that you can draw insight from. And with FE, you're good at recognizing other people's needs, and you lean towards giving others advice or helping people with problems when the situation requires it. Your introverted sensing assists you in recalling relevant data when needed. True. Not to be rude, but in some situations I can come across as being much more knowledgeable than you. It could be because I tend to produce more thorough and detailed explanations, whilst your NI insights tend to be more general or vague. It can be difficult to communicate insight that comes from NI, because these concepts can be very abstract. So it doesn't always lend well to the spoken language. Yes, I understand. You're also much more practical than I am. You have a much more direct relationship with the sensory world. You're in touch with what is taking place in and around you in a physical sense. And you tend to focus on the details of a situation. That's right. Leading with NI causes you to be detached from the present moment. And so focusing on sensory tasks is not as easy for you. Your mind is primarily focused on abstract ideas and can come up with new theories pretty easily. You seem to pull information out of thin air, whilst you use your past experiences to find the solution to a problem. Yes, most of the things I say can be traced back to the original source, because I tend to recall things as and when they were encoded, whilst you just come up with the answer, but don't know how you did it. True. I live in my head, and compared to you I tend to miss out on a lot of sensory details. I'm primarily focused on what's going to happen in future, and you often come out with statements that are substantially different from what I've heard before. I think another good way to look at our differences is by comparing how our first and third functions work together. We both have introverted thinking in third place. And as you know, the third function can be pretty strong. So we can both lean towards questioning the things that come to mind. True. Having TI in the third slot means that we both have the propensity to be very logical and analytical. It's important that we can make sense of the information that we connect with. Yes, our TI can draw us towards very philosophical thinking. And this can involve asking deep questions about life, especially in regard to human existence. I use my NI and TI to analyze the ideas, theories and visions that my mind is generating. I use my SINTI to extensively analyze what I've seen and heard in the past. This helps me to decide what is best to say or do. It should be noted that when you refer to information that you have seen or heard, this includes theoretical information. In my personal experience, very much so. We need to remember to discuss our extroverted feeling before this show is over. Yes, this is a very important difference. But we both have the same cognitive function in second place. True. But we use our FE differently. Your FE responds to your SI requirements, whilst mine responds to my NI requirements. I see. How do you think this makes us different? You deal with people according to what you have learned from your past experiences. And because you lead with SI, your FE focus has more of a sensory slant to it. This means that you tend to be more in tune with other people's physical needs than I am. It makes sense. Especially as your NI can cause you to be detached from the sensory world. You're better at keeping on top of what other people physically need to be comfortable or in a good place. Your introverted sensing makes it easier for you to formulate and follow routines to take care of your daily personal needs. And you can also do the same for others. You're very good at detecting sensory changes in your environment, and this helps you to read other people and identify when they are in need of help. True. You seem to be especially good at helping people to find solutions to complicated personal difficulties of a psychological nature, in a way that involves seeing where they are heading in future. Your mind really does work in a very mysterious way. Yes. I'm very much pattern reading the human psyche. On a deeper abstract level, I can connect with people on an individual basis. And I can see things related to their present condition that is not based on any previous experience. I'm good at making predictions related to human behavior. And to some people this can seem psychic. It's hard to understand how you do it. I'm mystified myself. Well, we should wrap this up. There is a lot more that could be said on this issue. Yes. I know that you've done a lot of research on this particular topic. So you really could say a lot more. Yes. And I know that you have connected with a lot of insights surrounding how we each cognitively function. Yes. But this should give the viewers some useful pointers to consider. Yes. All that remains is to say, thank you all for watching. And bye for now. Goodbye.